Jake looked at his best friend inside. His friend's girlfriend smiled, shared her fries, helped him cook dinner, hugged him, and even fixed his tie before their date. Jake smiled and said, "Man, you're so lucky." Then Jake looked at his own girlfriend. She grabbed the last French fry, stole his hoodie, roasted his haircut, and said, "You're paying the bill, right?" Jake smiled anyway, because sometimes the craziest girlfriends make the funniest love stories. One day in America, a man was walking in the park with his dog. A stranger stopped him and said, "Wow, your dog looks very smart." The owner smiled and replied, "Smart? Watch this." He threw a stick far away. The dog looked at the stick, looked at the owner, and sat down. The stranger asked, "Why didn't he bring it back?" Everyone else tried to impress. Some brought roses, others flashed the latest iPhones. A few even showed off stacks of cash, hoping it would win a girl's heart. The crowd watched, expecting another flashy love story. But one young man stood quietly in the background. He wasn't holding flowers or money. He was looking at an old homeless man sitting alone on a bench. Instead of chasing attention, he bought the man a hot meal, gave him a warm jacket, and sat beside him while they shared lunch. He never noticed that everyone was watching. The girls who had ignored him suddenly fell silent. One of them whispered, "He didn't try to impress us. He just helped someone who needed it." She walked over and asked, "Why didn't you bring me flowers?" The young man smiled. "Because flowers fade. Kindness stays forever." At that moment, everyone realized the truth. The richest person isn't the one with the most money. It's the one with the biggest heart. Moral: real character is revealed by how you treat people who can do. Title: The Rich Guy Lost. The honest guy won. On a sunny afternoon in New York City, three wealthy men competed to win the same girl's heart. The first arrived with a huge bouquet of roses. She looked at him and simply walked away. The second showed off his luxury car and flashed a stack of cash. She smiled politely, but her answer was still, "No." Everyone thought the third man would fail too. He walked over with just one single red rose. He smiled and said, "I can't promise you a mansion or millions, but I promise to stand beside you on your best days and your worst." For a moment, the street became completely silent. The girl looked into his eyes, took the rose, and smiled. The other men stood there speechless. That day, everyone learned the same lesson. Money can impress people for a moment, but honesty, respect, and true love can win a heart forever. Ending caption: Real love isn't bought, it's earned. Title: The Rich Guy Lost. The honest guy won. On a sunny afternoon in New York City, Ethan closed his eyes. His best friend smiled and whispered, "Don't open them until your heart tells you to." Three girls stood silently in front of him. The first looked glamorous, the second looked elegant, the third wore a simple pink dress and smiled without saying a word. When Ethan finally opened his eyes, he didn't choose the prettiest face. He chose the girl who had been waiting patiently with genuine kindness in her eyes. Everyone was shocked. Ethan smiled and said, "Beauty catches my eyes, but kindness wins my heart." Emily and Sarah were best friends in Seattle, Washington. One afternoon, they were walking home when Jake secretly reached for Sarah's hand, even though Emily believed he was her boyfriend. Emily turned around and froze. Her heart shattered. Without saying a word, she walked away with tears in her eyes. A few minutes later, a kind stranger named Ethan noticed Emily crying. He asked, "Are you okay?" Emily smiled through her tears and replied, "I just learned that not everyone who says I love you really means it." Over the next few weeks, Ethan and Emily became close friends. Unlike Jake, Ethan always respected her, supported her dreams, and never made her doubt her worth. One day, Jake saw Emily laughing with Ethan. He realized he had lost someone truly special. Jake tried to apologize, but Emily simply smiled and said, "You didn't lose me. You lost the only person who truly loved you." She walked away with Ethan, leaving Jake to regret the choice he made.